Half-Life Alyx is a groundbreaking VR game that completely immerses you in the world of City 17. You play as Alex Vance and use your hands to interact with the environment, solve puzzles, and fight off terrifying enemies like headcrabs and combine soldiers. The graphics are amazing and the world feels so real you'll forget you're in a game. The gameplay is super innovative with realistic physics that let you throw objects, manipulate tools, and even rummage through shelves for supplies. The combat is intense and satisfying, whether you're using your trusty gravity gloves to catch grenades or blasting away enemies with a shotgun. Half-Life Alyx is an absolute must-play for any fan of the series or anyone looking for a truly immersive VR experience. Animal Well is one of those games where you start off completely lost, but then as you keep exploring, everything starts making sense. And that feeling is just so satisfying. It's a puzzle platformer that drops you into this quiet but mysterious world filled with strange creatures and hidden secrets everywhere. The game doesn't explain much, so you have to experiment and figure things out, which makes every discovery feel super rewarding. The only downside is that it can be a little too cryptic at times, so if you don't like getting stuck, you might find it frustrating. But if you enjoy a game that respects your curiosity, this is an amazing experience. Banisher's Ghost of New Eden is an action-adventure game that follows two ghost hunters who fight spirits while dealing with a tragic love story, and it creates a really emotional and immersive experience. The narrative is deep and gripping, with tough choices that actually impact the story, making you feel invested in the characters. The combat is fast-paced and fun, but it can get a bit repetitive after a while. The atmosphere and visuals are stunning, really bringing the eerie world to life. If you like story-driven games with emotional twists, it's definitely worth checking out.
Mark this. He's not just any monkey. He's a monkey of merit.
Black Myth Wukong is an action RPG that dives deep into Chinese mythology, letting you play as the Monkey King with crazy, shape-shifting abilities and powerful magic. The combat is intense and feels really satisfying, especially when you master the dodges and counters. I was really impressed by how smooth the animations are, making every move feel impactful. Visually, the game looks stunning with its detailed environments and fluid animations, which make every fight feel epic. But some of the enemy encounters can feel a bit repetitive after a while. Still, the storytelling and unique setting keep you hooked. If you love challenging action RPGs, this one is definitely worth checking out. Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons is an adventure game that takes you on a journey with two brothers trying to save their father. And the way the game makes you control both at the same time is something I've never really seen before. The puzzles are really clever, and as you go through different places, everything feels like a fairy tale, but in a way that also has some dark and emotional moments. The game is pretty short, so it doesn't overstay its welcome, but it's also one of those experiences that stick with you even after you finish playing. The only thing that might feel strange at first is the controls, but once you get used to them, it feels amazing. Celeste is a challenging but rewarding platformer where you play as Madeline, a girl who climbs a mountain, and this game is known for its tough difficulty, but it's also super fair, and the controls feel really tight and responsive, so you always feel like it's your fault when you mess up. Which, believe me, you will a lot, and the levels are designed with tons of hidden secrets and shortcuts that make you want to replay them over and over again to find everything. Plus, the story in Celeste is surprisingly deep and emotional, dealing with things like anxiety and self-doubt in a way that feels really genuine and relatable. And the music is absolutely amazing. It's like this Beautiful mix of piano and electronic stuff that perfectly fits the mood of the game, but I gotta say some of those later levels are brutally hard, like seriously controller throwing frustrating. And while the story is great, it's told through these optional cutscenes that you can easily miss if you're not looking for them. So overall, Celeste is an awesome game with tight controls, a beautiful art style, and an amazing soundtrack that's definitely worth checking out even if you're not usually into hard platformers. Cuphead, the delicious last course, is a real treat for fans of the original game because it takes everything that was awesome about it and turns it up to 11. Like the animation is even more incredible with that classic cartoon style, and the music is just as catchy and fun to listen to. Plus, it adds a bunch of new levels and bosses that are some of the most creative and challenging ones yet. So get ready for some serious controller throwing moments. But the best part is, you get to play as Miss Chalice, this brand new character with her own cool moves and abilities that make the game feel fresh and exciting, like a double jump and a dash move that lets you avoid attacks. But be warned, some of these bosses are seriously tough and might make you want to pull your hair out, but if you love the original Cuphead, you absolutely have to check out the delicious last course.
Huh? Lay down, it's time to die!
A Way Out is an action-adventure co-op game where you and a friend take on the roles of two prisoners planning their escape, and the only way to succeed is by working together. The game is packed with cool moments, from sneaky stealth sections to intense car chases, and the way the story unfolds with split-screen gameplay makes everything feel cinematic.
You are.
Come on, scumbag!
Come on, come on! Where are you going?
Some of the animations are a little rough and the dialogue isn't always great, but the overall experience of playing through this with a friend is so much fun that it's easy to ignore any small flaws. If you love co-op games, this one is absolutely worth playing.
Name a number, please.
Vincent Moretti, 3465.
Vincent. Nope, there's no Vincent here, sorry.
We did it, hit!
Assassin's Creed Odyssey builds on the foundations of Origins, offering a massive RPG experience set in ancient Greece. You play as a Spartan mercenary, choosing between Cassandra or Alexios, with the story focusing more on the past than the modern-day Animus storyline. The game is filled with engaging side quests, environmental variety, and a massive world to explore, including naval combat reminiscent of Black Flag. However, the game can feel overwhelming with its grind and excessive loot, and the combat system, while improved, still has some issues with the parry mechanic. The game's beauty, character designs, and the meaningful impact of choices make it a strong adventure, though its technical performance on consoles, especially the frame rate, leaves room for improvement. If you liked Origins, you'll enjoy this one, though it may not convert new fans of the series. It's a massive action RPG with some flaws, but still impressive. Disco Elysium: The Final Cut is a one-of-a-kind detective RPG where you play as a cop with amnesia trying to solve a murder in a really weird and interesting city. And the cool thing is, you get to create your own type of detective with different skills and personality, so you can be a super smart detective or a total goofball. What really makes this game special is the amazing writing. It's super funny and makes you think about all sorts of things, and the world is full of interesting characters and hidden secrets that you'll want to uncover. Plus, the voice acting in the Final Cut version really brings the characters to life. Now, just a heads up, there's a lot of reading in this game, and it can be a bit slow at times. So if you're not into that kind of thing, it might not be for you, but if you're looking for a truly unique and unforgettable RPG experience, Disco Elysium: The Final Cut is definitely worth checking out. Forza Horizon 5 is a ridiculously fun racing game that lets you drive hundreds of amazing cars through a beautiful recreation of Mexico. You can race against other players online or explore the huge open world at your own pace, discovering hidden areas and completing cool challenges. The graphics are incredible, and the cars look and sound so real, you can practically smell the burning rubber. There are tons of different races and events to keep you busy, like street races, off-road rallies, and even crazy stunt challenges. You can customize your cars with different paint jobs and upgrades, and you can even buy and sell cars with other players in the game's auction house. While the game can sometimes feel a bit overwhelming with so much to do, and the always online requirement can be a bit annoying, Forza Horizon 5 is still one of the best racing games ever made. It's a must-have for any car enthusiast or fan of open-world games.
We have a great show for you here tonight. Alan Wake, one of my all-time favorite writers, and guests on the show.
Alan Wake 2 is a long-awaited follow-up that's worth the wait, especially if you're a fan of Remedy's past games like Control and Max Payne. It's a blend of single-player adventure, survival horror, and cinematic storytelling. Players control two characters, Saga Anderson, an FBI agent investigating eerie murders in a small town, and Alan Wake, trapped in a nightmarish version of New York. The game is challenging with limited resources, tense combat, and smart AI that keeps you on edge. Environments are beautifully designed, mixing creepy woods with atmospheric towns and surreal nightmare worlds. The flashlight mechanic adds tension, and the detective work in Saga's story is immersive. While newcomers may need some context, Alan Wake 2 excels with its thrilling gameplay, stunning visuals, and gripping narrative, making it possibly Remedy's best game yet.
The only thing sources agree on is his name. The Arkham Knight.
There's a crew of 8.
Batman Arkham Knight builds on its predecessors with a larger, more detailed Gotham City, new Batmobile gameplay, and a deeper exploration of Batman's psyche. The story highlights Batman's history with his allies and villains, though it occasionally delves too much into the supernatural. The addition of the Batmobile, which can turn into a tank, adds variety to the gameplay, although tank combat doesn't always fit Batman's style. The improved brawling and Predator mechanics, along with team-up takedowns, keep combat fresh. Side quests featuring classic villains like Two-Face and Penguin offer plenty of variety, making for an epic conclusion to the Arkham series. Despite some flaws, Arkham Knight is an outstanding game that stands out in both size and gameplay depth. Dying Light 2: Stay Human is a thrilling zombie action game with an expansive open world and smooth, top-tier parkour movement. The game lets you leap between rooftops, scale skyscrapers, and use a grappling hook with ease, creating an exhilarating experience. The story features a cast of memorable characters including Rosario Dawson's Lawan and the charming Frank and Hakan, each bringing dramatic moments to the game. Combat is exciting, with options to creatively take down enemies using dropkicks, explosive gas tanks, and Molotov cocktails. The co-op mode allows up to 4 players to explore the city together, enhancing the fun with shared progress and XP. With its dynamic world and action-packed gameplay, Dying Light 2 delivers an unforgettable post-apocalyptic adventure. The Last of Us is a masterclass in storytelling and gameplay, redefining what video games can achieve as a narrative medium. Set in a post-apocalyptic world teeming with danger, the game immerses players in a harrowing journey that blends brutal survival mechanics with a deeply emotional story. At its core, the game tells the story of Joel and Ellie, an unlikely pair thrust together by circumstances and bonded by survival. The progression of their relationship, set against a bleak and terrifying backdrop, is the emotional heart of the experience. Whether navigating eerie sewers, braving snowy landscapes, or surviving in overrun suburbs, the journey is as much about their evolving bond as it is about the threats they face. The gameplay is equally impressive. Every encounter feels raw and desperate, whether you're conserving scarce ammo, crafting tools, or resorting to brutal melee combat. The game forces you to adapt to its unforgiving world. The tension is heightened in moments like sneaking past clickers or making split-second decisions to survive encounters with humans and infected alike. This balance between stealth and all-out combat ensures that no two scenarios feel the same. Ultimately, The Last of Us isn't just about surviving a brutal world. It's about the humanity that endures within it. From its gripping gameplay to its unforgettable characters, It's no wonder the game remains a standout in the minds of players even a decade later. This is a journey that sticks with you long after the credits roll. Death Stranding is a really unique game, and I gotta say it was quite the experience. Some people might call it a walking simulator, and yeah, you do spend a lot of time trekking across this crazy landscape, but it's not just about that. You're like this delivery guy in a post-apocalyptic world where everything is super weird and you have to connect these isolated cities. It's kind of slow-paced, but it's also really beautiful and atmospheric with some crazy creatures and this really cool story about connections and stuff. The gameplay can be a bit repetitive, I guess, like you're always balancing your cargo and trying not to fall over, which can get a little old. But honestly, I kind of found it relaxing in a weird way, and the story kept me hooked. Plus, the online thing, where you can see other players' structures and stuff, is really cool. It's definitely not going to be for everyone, but if you're looking for something different and you don't mind a bit of a slower pace, Death Stranding might surprise you. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth continues the epic adventure with stunning graphics and even more exciting twists and turns. The combat is a blast mixing action and strategy to make each battle feel truly epic. Explore a massive world filled with bustling cities and dangerous dungeons while experiencing an emotional story that will stay with you long after the credits roll. It's awesome to see what happens to Cloud and his friends after they leave Midgar. While the game can feel a bit linear and some story choices might divide fans, the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is still an unforgettable experience. This thrilling adventure with amazing visuals and a captivating story is a must-play for any RPG fan. If you're looking for a racing game that's all about fun and chaos, Mario Kart 8 is perfect. The controls are tight, the tracks are super creative, and the anti-gravity sections make everything feel fresh and exciting. The visuals are bright and colorful, the soundtrack is fantastic, and there are so many ways to play, whether it's online or couch multiplayer. The only downside is that the item system can feel unfair at times, and losing a race because of a blue shell never stops being frustrating. But even when you're losing, you're still having a great time, and that's what makes this game so good. Hollow Knight is a beautiful Metroidvania with a haunting atmosphere. Explore the vast underground kingdom of Hallownest as a silent knight uncovering its secrets and battling deadly foes with your trusty nail. The hand-drawn art style and haunting soundtrack create a truly unique and immersive experience. Combat is tight and responsive, demanding skill to master. Gain new abilities and spells to reach new areas and overcome challenging bosses. Discovering hidden paths and upgrades is incredibly rewarding, but be warned, this game is tough and the map can be confusing. Still, Hollow Knight is a must-play for fans of the genre and anyone seeking a unique and unforgettable gaming experience.
Damn vacuum. Come on, we have to find Rose before she leaves.
It Takes Two is a unique co-op adventure, playable only with a friend. You'll journey as a couple turned into dolls solving puzzles and overcoming challenges in a magical world. The gameplay is constantly changing with exciting new mechanics around every corner. Experience thrilling moments like riding toy airplanes and battling giant squirrels in a vacuum cleaner. It Takes Two is creative and funny with a heartwarming story about love and relationships. While requiring 2 players and good communication, It Takes Two is an unforgettable co-op experience. This game is a must-play for anyone looking for a fun and unique adventure to share with a friend. If you love games that make you laugh, panic, and maybe even question your friendships, Overcooked All You Can Eat is perfect. It's a game where you and your team have to cook and serve meals as fast as possible, but the kitchens are designed to mess with you. Sometimes you're cooking on 2 moving trucks, sometimes the floor disappears, And sometimes you just have no idea what's going on because everything is on fire. It's fast, silly, and surprisingly challenging because you have to communicate well, or everything falls apart. It's the kind of game that gets stressful, but in the best way. And even when we completely failed, we just kept playing for one more round. Space Marine 2 throws you right into the action-packed world of Warhammer 40K, where you play as a towering space marine named Titus. You'll use powerful guns and brutal melee attacks to fight hordes of Tyranids alien creatures that want to eat everything in their path. The action is intense and gory, with huge battles and epic boss fights that will test your skills. The game looks amazing with detailed environments and awesome special effects that really bring the Warhammer universe to life. You can even team up with friends to fight the Tyranid threat together in co-op mode. If you like action-packed games with big guns and even bigger enemies, then Space Marine 2 is definitely worth checking out. Little Nightmares 2 is a creepy puzzle platformer where you play as Mono exploring a distorted world filled with disturbing creatures. Solve puzzles and sneak past enemies to survive this nightmare world with its tense atmosphere and amazing sound design. You'll encounter terrifying monsters like the creepy teacher and the horrifying hunter. Team up with 6 from the first game to overcome obstacles and solve puzzles together. Though challenging at times, Little Nightmares 2 is a thrilling and unforgettable experience. A must-play for fans of horror games and anyone who enjoys a good scare. Days Gone is a unique and thrilling zombie survival game that you should definitely check out. Its standout feature? The Freaker Hordes, or zombies, as most of us call them. Unlike typical games, these hordes don't just mindlessly charge at you, they surround and overwhelm you like a living, breathing wave of terror. If you've ever dreamed of facing zombies like in World War Z, this game delivers big time. Fighting them is intense, strategic, and terrifying, especially when you're low on stamina or far from your bike. Beyond the hordes, Days Gone nails the survival element. You're constantly scavenging for supplies, managing your bike's fuel, and staying alert to ambushes and wild animals. The world feels alive and deadly. While the story isn't the strongest aspect, the gameplay more than makes up for it. Plus, the Freaker's biology is uniquely fascinating, rivaling even The Last of Us in creativity. With weapons customization, bike upgrades, and post-story challenge modes, there's plenty to keep you hooked. If you love a gritty, survival-focused zombie game with depth and intensity, Days Gone is absolutely worth your time. Baldur's Gate 3 is a landmark in RPG gaming, blending incredible storytelling, tactical combat, and unmatched freedom of choice. Set in the vibrant Forgotten Realms, Larian Studios delivers a world rich in detail with unforgettable, deeply written characters and voice acting that brings them to life. The game offers unparalleled freedom. Your choices matter, from skipping battles with clever tricks to shaping your character from 29 sub-races and 12 diverse classes. Co-op multiplayer adds to the fun, letting friends tackle missions in inventive ways. Exploration feels rewarding at every turn. Whether discovering new lore, hidden loot, or impactful side quest, Baldur's Gate 3 constantly surprises. Its 3-act story spans lush wilderness, eerie landscapes, and a bustling city, each brimming with handcrafted, memorable experiences. Though Act 3 has some bugs, they pale next to the brilliance of the game. With its stellar narrative layered characters and polished presentation, Baldur's Gate 3 sets a new standard for CRPGs. A masterwork that's a must-play for any RPG fan. Dead Island 2 is a hilarious, gore-filled sequel that doesn't take itself seriously, and that's part of its charm. Set in a stunningly detailed and absurd version of LA, the game boasts ridiculously good graphics that make its blood-soaked melee combat and apocalyptic setting pop. You'll hack, slash, and drop-kick your way through zombie hordes as one of 6 playable characters. The story feels like a cheesy B-movie with sarcastic writing, colorful characters, and over-the-top quests, like slaying zombies for a clout-chasing influencer or fighting bee-infested undead. While combat starts strong with modded melee weapons and superhuman abilities, its repetitive nature and lackluster guns fall short. Multiplayer adds much-needed fun, though technical bugs and an unpolished feel detract from the experience. Dead Island 2 may not reinvent the zombie genre, but its humor, irreverent tone, gorgeous visuals, and co-op chaos make it worth a bloody good time. Elden Ring is a massive, challenging open-world RPG that combines difficulty with an expansive world that encourages exploration. Players take on the role of a Tarnished, journeying through a land filled with conflict, mysterious characters, and tough boss battles. The game offers deep customization, allowing players to build their character with a variety of classes and abilities. Combat is deliberate with new features like a jump button and guard counterattacks. The open world, accessible through a mount called Torrent, offers tons of secrets to discover. Although it can be difficult and at times frustrating, the game rewards curiosity and offers freedom to explore at your own pace. The visuals are stunning, though some minor performance issues exist, especially on PC. Overall, Elden Ring feels like a game-changing evolution in the RPG genre, offering something for both newcomers and veterans alike.
And they will die in an unending curse.
The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt stands as the ultimate achievement in the RPG genre, offering an unforgettable experience with its epic storytelling and expansive open world. In the role of Geralt of Rivia, you embark on a perilous quest to locate your adopted daughter Ciri as the world around you teeters on the brink of chaos. The game's deep character-driven narrative and rich side quests give life to every corner of its world, making it feel truly immersive. From the eerie, mist-filled swamps of Velen to the vibrant, bustling streets of Novigrad, each area is brimming with detail and stories to uncover, inviting exploration at every turn. The combat system is robust, blending powerful spells with skill-based mechanics that allow for dynamic and satisfying encounters. Your decisions throughout the game carry weight, influencing the narrative and shaping the world around you, adding a personal touch to the experience. In 2022, the next-gen update further enhanced this masterpiece, bringing significant graphical improvements and refining gameplay mechanics, making the game even more stunning and immersive for both new and returning players. With its breathtaking visuals, atmospheric world-building, and a soundtrack that enhances every moment, The Witcher 3 is a prime example of why single-player adventures remain so captivating. It's not just a game, it's an experience that stays with you long after the journey ends.
Who are you?
You know who I am.
What's the matter, Stray? Nothing left to lose?
Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice is a challenging but rewarding action-adventure game from the creators of Dark Souls and Bloodborne. You play as a shinobi called Wolf, who is on a quest for revenge in a beautiful and mythical version of ancient Japan. Get ready for intense sword fights where you need to be fast and precise to deflect attacks and find the perfect moment to strike. The game has a unique grappling hook that lets you zip around the world and explore its secrets. You'll need to learn new skills and find powerful tools to defeat tough enemies and bosses. Sekiro is a tough game, but it's also fair, and overcoming its challenges is incredibly satisfying. If you like action games and aren't afraid of a little difficulty, then this game is a must-play. Dishonored 2 is a stealth action game where you get to play as either Emily or Corvo, who have really cool supernatural powers that let you sneak around and take down your enemies in tons of different ways, like you can teleport around the map, possess people, or even summon swarms of rats to do your dirty work. And the levels are these awesome, intricate environments that give you a lot of freedom to explore and experiment with your powers. The story is full of twists and turns, and the world is super immersive with a unique art style that makes it feel like a painting come to life. Plus, you can choose to play the game like a ghost, leaving no trace, or go in guns blazing and cause total chaos, which adds a lot of replay value because you can try different approaches each time. Now, the AI can be a bit wonky at times, and sometimes it feels like you get spotted when you shouldn't, and the story, while interesting, isn't quite as gripping as the first game. But overall, Dishonored 2 is a fantastic stealth action game with awesome powers, a cool world, and plenty of choices that make it a blast to play.
Sam, get in the goddamn car! I'm faster! Stop arguing! Watch out!
Uncharted 4 delivers a spectacular and heartfelt conclusion to Nathan Drake's story, blending high-stakes action with a deeply emotional narrative. It's more than just another adventure, it's a journey of brotherhood, legacy, and self-discovery that fans of the series won't want to miss. The story reintroduces us to Nathan, now retired, as he's pulled back into treasure hunting by his long-lost brother Sam. Their quest for the lost pirate colony of Libertalia is not just about riches. It's about redemption, loyalty, and confronting the ghosts of the past. The dynamic between the brothers drives much of the emotional weight, creating a relatable and human tale. While the game stays true to its action-packed roots, it also explores quieter, introspective moments, allowing characters to evolve. Flashbacks to Nathan and Sam's childhood add depth, and the tension between Nathan's adventurous past and his commitment to a peaceful life with Elena feels authentic and compelling. Uncharted 4 isn't just storytelling. It's visually stunning with breathtaking environments and meticulous detail. The gameplay masterfully combines exploration, combat, and puzzles, keeping the experience engaging and immersive. Whether you're drawn to its thrilling action, its gorgeous visuals, or its rich character development, Uncharted 4 is a must-play. Nathan Drake's final adventure leaves a lasting impression, wrapping up the series in the most satisfying way possible. I played Rise of the Ronin recently, and honestly, it felt like stepping into a wild samurai movie, where you get to decide everything. This is an open-world action game where you're a Ronin, a masterless samurai, and you're caught right in the middle of a big fight in Japan. The fighting is really cool. Like, you can switch between different sword styles, and it feels super smooth, but sometimes the story felt a bit all over the place, like it was trying to do too much. Exploring the world is fun, there's lots to see, but some of the side quests were a bit repetitive. You know, just go here, hit this, come back. Still swinging your sword and feeling like a badass Ronin, that's where this game really shines. Marvel Rivals is a fighting game that brings together Marvel's most famous heroes and villains in exciting one-on-one battles with flashy moves and powerful abilities. The combat is fast-paced and feels really satisfying, especially when you pull off special moves. The graphics are fantastic and the voice acting is spot on, really bringing the characters to life. I had a lot of fun playing through the story mode, but it ended sooner than I expected, and I was left wanting more. The multiplayer is fun, but could use some tweaks for better balance. Even with these minor flaws, it's a must-play for Marvel fans. It's one of those games that's perfect for quick matches or long play sessions.
That's 3! Wow, 4 in a row! 5! That's a...
Metaphor Refantasio is a turn-based RPG that throws you into a massive fantasy world filled with kingdoms, war, and some really cool characters. The combat is pretty deep, mixing classic turn-based strategy with fast-paced mechanics, and the art style is absolutely stunning. The world feels alive, with a lot of unique locations to explore, and some great music that fits every moment perfectly. But I will say, the pacing can feel a bit slow at times, especially in the early hours. Some of the UI could also be a little more user-friendly, but once you get into it, the game really starts to shine. If you love deep RPGs with a strong story and amazing visuals, this one is definitely worth checking out. Red Dead Redemption 2 is not only a visual triumph, but also a masterclass in storytelling. From the moment you step into its world, you're greeted by a level of detail that's simply breathtaking. The landscapes are stunning, whether you're riding through vast plains, dense forests, or across snow-capped mountains. Every scene feels meticulously crafted. The dynamic lighting, weather effects, and realistic animations make the world feel alive. And the character models are incredibly lifelike, from the way Arthur Morgan moves to the subtle gestures and expressions that add depth to every interaction. But it's not just about looks. The story, driven by the complex character of Arthur Morgan, is what truly makes the game special. As a member of Dutch's gang, Arthur is a morally complex character who struggles with his past, his choices, and his loyalty to his gang. His journey is raw and emotional, filled with moments of reflection that resonate deeply with players. The way the story unfolds is as immersive as the world around you, with Arthur's development reflecting the themes of redemption, survival, and the slow decline of the Wild West. The game's visual beauty complements this emotional depth, creating a truly unforgettable experience where every moment feels impactful, both in terms of gameplay and narrative.
As long as we get paid or you get shot, I'm happy.
Ghost of Tsushima is a visually stunning open-world action game set in feudal Japan where you play as Jin Sakai, a samurai caught between tradition and the need to fight Mongol invaders. The game features an exceptional blade combat system, blending elements from Batman Arkham, Assassin's Creed, and classic samurai films. Combat is fast, tactical, and rewarding, with a focus on improving skills rather than grinding for stats. While stealth mechanics are basic and enemy AI can be lacking, the game shines in other areas, especially with its intense cinematic combat sequences. The open world is breathtaking with subtle guidance to exploration and memorable side quests that range from simple tasks to deep character stories. Mythic Tales are particularly epic, offering some of the best moments in the game. The photo mode stands out as one of the best, letting you capture the beauty of the world with creative touches like animated environments and particle effects. While Ghost of Tsushima does have some polish issues, especially with stealth, its engaging combat-rich narrative and beautiful world make it an extraordinary samurai adventure. With its emotional storytelling and innovative gameplay systems, it's a must-play for action fans.
Ashley, run!
Resident Evil 4 Remake takes the survival horror masterpiece and elevates it to a whole new level with stunning visuals and modernized gameplay. Step back into the shoes of Leon S. Kennedy as he faces hordes of Ganados in a truly terrifying and immersive experience. The environments are incredibly detailed and atmospheric, from the eerie village to the imposing castle and the terrifying island.
One down.
The combat is intense and visceral, with brutal melee attacks and satisfying gunplay that will keep you on your toes. You'll need to use every weapon in your arsenal and strategically manage your resources to survive the onslaught of enemies. The remake also introduces new features like side quests and expanded areas, giving you even more to explore and discover. This game is a thrilling and terrifying adventure that perfectly captures the spirit of the original while delivering a fresh and unforgettable experience. Unravel is a really charming game where you play as this tiny creature made of yarn named Yarny, and you use your yarn to swing across gaps and solve puzzles in a beautiful world that looks like it's made for a tiny person. It's like you're exploring a giant backyard, and the music is so relaxing and peaceful. It makes you feel like you're on a little adventure. You'll travel through forests and over mountains and even under the water, and the puzzles can be tricky, but they're always fun to figure out, and it's really cool how you use your yarn to tie things together and create bridges and swings and stuff. Unravel is a great game for people who like to relax and explore, and it has a really heartwarming story about love and family that will stay with you long after you finish playing. Microsoft Flight Simulator is a truly stunning game that lets you fly anywhere in the world with incredibly realistic graphics and weather effects, so you can experience what it's really like to be a pilot and soar through the skies. The game has a huge variety of planes to choose from, and you can even fly real-world routes and visit famous landmarks, which adds to the immersion and makes you feel like you're actually there. However, the game can be quite demanding on your computer, and you'll need a pretty powerful machine to run it smoothly. Plus, the sheer amount of detail can sometimes be overwhelming, especially if you're new to flight simulators. Overall, though, Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 is an amazing experience that any aviation enthusiast or gamer should definitely check out because it offers a level of realism and immersion that is unmatched by any other flight simulator currently available. So I tried Nine Sols recently and was really impressed by how well it combines fast-paced action and platforming with a story inspired by Asian mythology. I absolutely loved the hand-drawn art style that gives the game a really unique look. The combat is so much fun with the mix of swordplay and deflection mechanics that make every fight feel intense, but I did find some of the platforming parts to be a bit tricky because they require really precise jumps. The story is good, but it does feel like it drags in some places, but even with these small issues, I think it's a really solid game that's worth checking out if you like action platformers. All right, so I fired up No Man's Sky the other day, and man, it's a whole different game than what I remember. I mean, I was there at launch when everyone was losing their minds about all the stuff that was missing, and honestly, it was kind of rough around the edges. But fast forward to now, and it's like a whole new experience. Seriously, the developers have been busy adding tons of features and making it way better. You can build these awesome bases now, and every planet feels different with weird creatures and plants to discover. And the space combat? Forget about it. Dogfighting with pirates is seriously intense. It's actually kind of like what happened with Cyberpunk. Remember all the drama? But now both games are pretty awesome. No Man's Sky even has VR support now, which is insane, and you can play with your friends and go on missions together. I guess what I'm trying to say is that if you wrote this game off before, you should definitely give it another shot. Ori and the Will of the Wisps is a beautiful and emotional game with amazing graphics and music that will make you feel like you're in a dream. You play as Ori, a cute little spirit creature who has to save the forest from a dark evil, and along the way you'll meet interesting characters and explore a huge world filled with secrets and challenges. The controls are tight and responsive, and the platforming is super satisfying with lots of cool abilities to unlock that. Let you do amazing things like double jump and dash through the air. The story is really well told and will pull at your heartstrings, and the gameplay is challenging but fair. Although some of the escape sequences can be a bit frustrating at times. Overall, Ori and the Will of the Wisps is a must-play for fans of platforming games or anyone who wants an unforgettable adventure that is both heartwarming and exciting. So if you're looking for a game that will stay with you long after you finish it, this is definitely one to check out. Super Mario Odyssey is a joyful reimagining of the platforming genre Mario helped define. With its creative new mechanics and nostalgic nods to the past, it delivers an unforgettable adventure. The standout feature is Cappy, Mario's sentient hat, which lets you possess characters and objects, adding endless variety to gameplay. From controlling a giant T-Rex to stacking Goombas, the surprises never stop. The game blends 3D exploration with classic 2D segments, creating a unique mix of retro and modern styles. Each world is a creative playground, and New Donk City stands out with its semi-realistic design, fun minigames, and a celebratory finale. Even after completing the story, there's plenty to do, from collecting hundreds of power moons to unlocking new areas and surprises. While the game isn't very difficult, its charm, creativity, and innovative gameplay make Odyssey a masterpiece and a must-play for Mario fans and newcomers alike.
Extend the search!
A Plague Tale: Requiem is a thrilling follow-up to its predecessor, elevating everything that made the first game special. Set in the 14th century France during the Hundred Years' War, you control Amicia, who must protect her brother Hugo from a world full of danger, including massive rat swarms. The game intensifies the grim and emotional tone of the first, with heightened stealth mechanics and a deeply depressing story. While the gameplay remains familiar, new elements like NPC allies with unique abilities bring fresh strategies to stealth sections. The rats, now a terrifying force of nature, create unforgettable, heart-pounding moments. Although the puzzles and stealth sections don't always challenge, the combination of rats, soldiers, and puzzle solving offers some of the most engaging moments. The game's stunning visuals, memorable characters, and immersive world make it a must-play, despite not being as ambitious as it could have been in its gameplay evolution. Overall, A Plague Tale: Requiem is a gripping, emotional journey worth experiencing.
What's wrong? What's wrong?
Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown is a side-scrolling action platformer that brings back the classic feel of the old games but with a fresh, modern look. It mixes fast-paced combat with clever puzzles and platforming challenges, making each level feel really exciting. I was really impressed by how smooth the movement feels, especially when chaining jumps and wall runs together. The boss fights are fun and require some strategy, but some of them felt a bit too easy. The art style is beautiful, with vibrant colors that make the world feel alive. Even though some of the puzzles were a little repetitive, the combat and platforming kept me hooked. Rogue Legacy 2 takes everything you loved about the original and makes it even better with a huge, vibrant world to explore and tons of new features. You'll play as a descendant of a noble family, exploring a procedurally generated castle filled with unique biomes like the enchanted Kerguelen Plateau and the challenging Axis Mundi. Each heir has their own unique traits and abilities, making every run feel fresh and exciting. The combat is fast and fluid, with a wide variety of weapons and spells to master. You'll need to be on your toes to survive the challenging platforming sections and intense boss battles. And with the new Relics system, you can gain powerful abilities that can change the way you play. Rogue Legacy 2 is a must-play for fans of roguelites and platformers alike, offering a rewarding and addictive experience that will keep you coming back for more. Silent Hill 2 Remake is a survival horror game that beautifully brings back the eerie world of Silent Hill with modern graphics and sound design. It captures the creepy atmosphere perfectly, making every corner feel unsettling. I really enjoyed exploring the detailed environments and solving the challenging puzzles. The emotional story still hits hard, and the improved voice acting adds to the experience. The combat is a bit clunky, but it didn't bother me too much because the focus is more on exploration and story. If you love psychological horror, this remake is definitely worth checking out. Stalker 2. Heart of Chernobyl throws you into a harsh and unforgiving world where survival is key. Explore the Chernobyl Exclusion Zone, a place filled with dangerous mutants, deadly anomalies, and other stalkers all competing for survival. You'll need to scavenge for supplies, manage your resources, and make tough choices to stay alive in this unforgiving environment. The game features a massive open world with dynamic weather and day-night cycles that create a truly immersive experience. Uncover the secrets of the zone, complete dangerous missions, and encounter memorable characters as you explore this atmospheric and captivating world. This game is not for the faint of heart, but if you're looking for a challenging and rewarding survival experience, this game is a must-play. Stardew Valley is a farming game that's all about building the life you want, whether that means growing crops, making friends, or just spending your days fishing by the lake. The game lets you take things at your own pace, which makes it super relaxing, but there's always something new to discover. The townspeople all have unique stories, and you can even get married and start a family if you want. The early game can be a bit overwhelming since there's so much to do, but once you get into it, it's incredibly satisfying to watch your farm grow. It's one of those games that's easy to start, but really hard to put down. Stellar Blade is an action RPG set in a futuristic world, and it's all about fast-paced combat and exploring beautifully designed environments. The visuals are absolutely stunning, and the combat feels smooth and satisfying, especially with all the cool moves and combos you can pull off. I really enjoyed the boss fights, which were challenging but not unfair, and they kept me on my toes. However, the story felt a bit shallow, and I didn't connect much with the characters, which was a little disappointing. Still, if you love action games with great visuals and fluid combat, it's definitely worth checking out. It's one of those games that's just fun to play, even if the story isn't the strongest.